everyone. This is the fifth chapter of History through the eyes of travelers. In this chapter, we will see how our knowledge of past can be enriched through focusing on the accounts of three men, Al-Biruni, who came from Uzbekistan in 11th century, Ibn Battuta, who came from Morocco in northwestern Africa in 14th century, and the Frenchman Francois Bernier in 17th century. Al-Biruni and the Kitabul Hind from Khwarizm to Punjab. Al-Biruni was born in 973 in Khwarizm in present-day Uzbekistan. Khwarizm was an important center of learning and Al-Biruni received the best education available at the time. He was well versed in several languages Syriac, Arabic, Persian, Hebrew, and Sanskrit. Although he did not know Greek, he was familiar with the works of Plato and other Greek philosophers. In 1017, when Sultan Mahmud invaded Khwarizm, he took several scholars and poets back to his capital Ghazni. Al-Biruni was one of them. He arrived in Ghazni as a hostage but gradually developed a liking for the city where he spent the rest of his life until his death at the age of 70. In Ghazni, that Al-Biruni developed an interest in India when the Punjab became a part of the Ghaznavi Empire. Al-Biruni spent years in the company of Brahmins, priests, and scholars learning Sanskrit and studying religious and philosophical texts. He traveled widely in the Punjab and the parts of North India. He traveled in Sahara Desert in the west to the river Volga in the north in Russia. Al-Biruni's Kitabul Hind, written in Arabic, is simple and lucid. It is voluminous text and divided into 80 chapters on subjects such as religion and philosophy, festivals, astronomy, manners and customs, social life, weights and measures, iconography, laws, and meteorology. Generally, Al-Biruni began the chapter with a question, following this up with a description based on Sanskrit tradition, and concluding with a comparison with other cultures. Some present day scholars have argued that this almost geometric structure owed much to his mathematical orientation. Al Biruni, who wrote in Arabic, probably intended his work for people living along the frontiers of the subcontinent. He was familiar with the translations and adaptations of Sanskrit, Pali, and Prakrit texts into Arabic. These ranged from fables to works on astronomy and medicine. However, he was also critical about the ways in which these texts were written and clearly wanted to improve on them. Our next topic is Ibn Battuta's Rihala, an early globetrotter. Ibn Battuta's book of travels called Rihala, written in Arabic, provides extremely rich and interesting details about the social and cultural life in the subcontinent in the 14th century. This Moroccan traveler was born in Tangier into one of the most respectable and educated families known for their expertise in Islamic religion, law, or Sharia. Ibn Battuta received literary and scholastic education when he was quite young. Ibn Battuta considered experience gained through travel to be a more important source of knowledge than book. He just loved traveling and went to far off places. Before he set off for India, he had made pilgrimage trip to Mecca and had already traveled extensively in Syria, Iraq, Persia, Yemen, Oman, and a few trading ports on the coast of East Africa. Traveling Central Asia, Ibn Battuta reached Sindh in 1333. He had heard about Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the Sultan of Delhi, and lured by his reputation as a generous patron of art and letters, and set off for Delhi. The Sultan was impressed by his scholarship and appointed him the Qazi of or Judge of Delhi. He remained in that position for several years until he was thrown into prison. Once the misunderstanding between him and the Sultan was cleared, he was restored to imperial service. Ibn Battuta proceeded to the Malabar coast. From Malabar, he went to Maldives, where he stayed for 18 months as a Qazi, but eventually decided to proceed to Sri Lanka. He then went back once more to the Malabar coast and the Maldives, and before resuming his mission to China, visited Bengal and Assam as well. He took a ship to Sumatra and from there another ship for the Chinese port town of Zaitun. He traveled extensively in China, decided to return home in 1347. His account is often compared with Marco Polo, who visited China from Venice in the late 13th century. Ibn Battuta recorded his observations about new cultures, people, belief, values, etc. This globetrotter was traveling in the 14th century when it was much more hazardous to travel than it is today. According to Ibn Battuta, it took 40 days to travel from Multan to Delhi and about 50 days from Sindh to Delhi. Traveling was also more insecure. Ibn Battuta was attacked by bands of robbers several times. While traveling from Multan to Delhi, his caravan was attacked and many of the fellow travelers lost their lives. Those who survived, including Ibn Battuta, were severely wounded. The enjoyment of curiosities. Ibn Battuta was an inventor, traveler who spent several years traveling through North Africa, West Asia, and parts of Central Asia, the Indian subcontinent, and China. When he returned, rulers the local rulers issued instructions that his stories be recorded. For today, this much. Thank you.